we stick to the code, yeah.
Wow, what it is, man. Welcome to the Stick to the Code podcast. It's your boy Ayo right here, and look, man, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be bringing this podcast to y'all, man. Look, this right here, this the inaugural episode. It's the first time coming back with it. So, man, I'm just excited. I hope y'all excited to run this podcast with me. Look, man, like I said, it's Stick to the Code. On this podcast, what we're going to be doing is talking tech and kicking culture. That's pretty much the theme for this podcast every episode. We talking tech, kicking culture. That's something those are just things I'm interested in. Along this podcast, y'all can get to know me, Ayo, like I said. And, just we're going to talk about a whole lot of tech stuff and just other things going on in culture that pique my interest. Hopefully it's something that y'all rock with too. For the most part, like with this podcast, if you previously aware, this podcast is pretty much rebranding, restart up of a podcast I had running earlier this year. Had same name, different premise, different kind of thing going about it. Was me and a few females. For different reasons, it didn't work out. But man, that's life. Life don't work out every time the way you plan it, but you got to keep moving. So what we doing right here, keep it moving, man. Look, this right here is something I really feel like this is a little bit more into the things that I'm really into. Other one was kind of doing different things, but this one right here is something that I'm just really into, man. Tech. I love things going on in tech, like I always have. Never really spoke too much about it in this kind of format with a podcast or just in general, but it's just something that I've kind of really gravitated toward a lot more. So it's like, hey, look, man, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of tech heads out there like me who want to hear about tech, but might want to hear from a voice like mine, from my viewpoint, this kind of opinion. So hopefully it's something that y'all can rock with and y'all tap in with me. Look, so man, for this, like I said, we just gonna be talking tech, kicking culture, and tech. They're gonna be anything from smartphones, laptops, EVs, cars. Or just regular cars, just anything going on, speakers, watches, just any consumer tech. I'm into a whole lot of consumer tech type of products, so that's pretty much what I'm gonna be talking about, consumer tech. As far as from the culture side of it, when we finish up every episode, I'm gonna pretty much run my tech bit, and then I'm gonna just talk a little bit of culture, what's going on. I'm an artist, man. So if you check that out, I do a lot of artistic things, a lot of creative things. That's the type of things I gravitate toward. And with that, a big thing I do, music. I'm a rapper. So intro on the start of this right here, that's me. That's a track that I did. Y'all can find it on all streaming services. Also, man, I do other music, so you want to just check into that, kind of get a little vibe for me. That'll kind of give you a feel for like what kind of person I am. A little bit, just give you a window into what kind of person I am. But hopefully it's something that y'all can rock with. I understand if you kind of like checked into the previous podcast and you checking into this now, you might be thinking like, this ain't really what I'm into. I understand that and respect it. If you somebody who checked into it before and now you like, that might be, I don't know. Hey, check it out. Let me know, man. You never know. It might be something you might not even realize you was into some of this tech stuff. Like it might be something that you really rocking with. So hopefully, man, y'all just check with it. And like I said, on the other side of it, for like the culture part, man, I'm into a lot of stuff. Like I'm a rapper. I do music. I'm into artistic stuff. I done dibbled and dabbed and painted a little bit, but I ain't no painter like that. Like writing and reading and stuff like that. So I read a lot of novels. I'm more of a fantasy reader, so not too much like, non-fiction gonna come from me, but y'all might hear me talking about some novels I might be checking into. Another thing I'm really into, anime. What it is, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and just kick it right off the bat for anybody who check into this and an anime fan. It's dubs over subs. Dubs over subs. Dubs over subs. I know I kind of went in reverse. If you watching the video version, you see me go dubs over subs in reverse, but whatever. It's dubs over subs all day for me. I don't feel like reading when I watch my TV, so when I watch my anime, it's straight dub. I don't got time to be trying to read what they said. If you can understand Japanese, do your thing. I can't. I'm gonna watch it how I enjoy it. Do what y'all do. So that's what some of this that might pop up at a point in time. It's probably gonna pop up at a point in time. A few times. I'm a sports fan. Look, man, I'm into football, into basketball a little bit. Football my number one sport. I don't watch sports like I used to, but definitely check into those. So might have a little moment where I kind of might bring up my Packers. I'm a Green Bay Packer fan. I'm a Miami Hurricanes fan. We ain't been doing what I've been wanting. But I'm gonna talk about my team, so I might be complaining a little bit. It ain't football season right now, but don't be surprised during football season y'all hear me talking about that. But look, man, that's just me trying to intro this a little bit, give y'all like a vibe of what it's gonna be. It's gonna be heavy on the tech though. Like, even though I'm gonna kick into my other stuff, like kick a little culture, I'm gonna be mostly talking about tech stuff, just giving my opinions on some of the things going on in the tech world. So really, I don't want to hold y'all up too much, man. Let's go ahead and get right into the business, you heard me? So look, first things first, we're gonna talk about Elon. Like, I mean, what you basically got to. Like, if you talk about tech and stuff going on, and I mean the stuff that he doing right now, it don't even matter if it's tech. You just gotta talk about Elon Musk with the stuff he doing. It go beyond just tech world. Like, bruh, he about to buy Twitter. Like, I don't know how much bigger energy you can get, but the man is finna buy a whole established social media network. That's like, oh, you got that kind of money. But I mean, his net worth is right now like ranked at like what, $260 something billion, which is like, is that even real money? That don't even sound like a realistic number. But hey, look, man, that's the kind of bread he got. So man, finna buy Twitter. The deal is supposed to be for like $44 billion, which is like amazing. I ain't gonna lie. Like, this podcast coming out after they done had like a lot of the Twitter back and forth and things go on with the deal from him initially announcing it. But when it first got announced, I'm in that range of people was like, man, this ain't going through. This just Elon being Elon, talking too much. The man sent the deal, sent the stuff, and pretty much Twitter done accepted it. $44 billion. Look, man, they didn't agree to it. So when everything closed, the game plan is Elon Musk gon' own Twitter. Hey, bet, do your thing, bro. A big thing with that to me is like, you gotta pay attention to like the regulatory side of. I ain't into it like that. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like I'm in regulation and other stuff. Look, bro, I just be checking the base level stuff. I'm a regular tech enthusiast. But Elon Musk talking about with the deal. I think if Elon backs out the deal later on, or if Twitter back out of the deal, whichever one back out, owe the other one $1 billion, which is like, bruh. When you're dealing with $1 billion things, you owe people $1 billion just for like not following through with it. That's crazy money. So I mean, I hope the best. I hope the deal go through. I know some of the things Elon recently kind of said afterwards. One, the crazy Twitter thing he did when he was like, "Oh, I'm about to buy Coca-Cola too and put the cocaine back in." Bro, slime is crazy. He going wild with that right there. Like, I mean, just wilding. Like, Elon, do your thing, bro. But that was a crazy one. But you know what, man, that's just bro kicking his thing like how he always do. Another thing with it, he's supposed to be talking about one of the game plans to turn around Twitter, because the big reason him getting into trying to buy Twitter is so he can make Twitter make more money. Because Twitter's like one of them big platforms a lot of people into, but if you ain't into Twitter, you ain't into Twitter. If you into Twitter, you probably heavy into Twitter. I myself, I done dibbled and dabbed in Twitter a little bit. I definitely fall in that range of people who ain't regularly on Twitter. I go weeks without opening the Twitter app on my phone. It's on there. I got a Twitter and everything, but I don't be tweeting too much. Every now and again if I'm feeling like something. But I'm on Twitter more than Facebook. So, just a social media platform, just move how they go, man. Just move with the times. But Twitter's one that's kind of like been up and down, but always been here relevant. And like, the main media areas, like the main place you want to hear somebody talk about and just put out their words, no video kind of form. Even though Twitter got videos, it's the place where you can always just kind of like put out that. So him getting that is a big thing. Plus, like, Elon Musk huge on Twitter. Last time I looked at, he had like 90 million followers. As a tech CEO kind of space, somebody having that kind of followers, that's not typical. So that's how you know, bro, in a different lane with it. So I hope the best with all that. The subscription game plan that they have for that, I don't really know how many people gonna subscribe to Twitter. I don't know the logistics of it from a business mindset, but hopefully it work out the best. I know I personally don't fall in the range of somebody who would pay for a social media app, but for the kind of more like the business side of it, I think that's where they're expecting to kind of grow the subscriptions. The game plan is by 2028, I think they're expecting to have double the profit that Twitter is currently making $5 billion. They expecting to get it to making $10 billion a year with subscription. That's what he's talking. Hey, look, man, wish the best for you, but we're going to see how they play out. But that's enough about Elon, man. Let's switch over to a little bit of other news, man. Speaking on, like, we got Elon. He the CEO of Tesla, Starlink, SpaceX, Boring Company, so many things. Like that's why bro name's so crazy. But like I said, the first one, the biggest thing he known for, Tesla, the #1 EV brand worldwide. They sell, they pretty much the company that has made EVs be what they are. But also, we got another company right here, old school, who got models in their brand. Got the Model T's like thing. But they the company that got everybody kind of pretty much, they really kind of got some of the more, I think, people who aren't so much into tech. I think this is a vehicle that's supposed to get a lot of people who aren't into tech interested into getting into EVs, and that's the Ford F-150 Lightning. I'm not gonna lie, I really would like it, and I done seen some videos of people driving and testing. It seemed like a cool ass truck. The truck is basically the Ford F-150. They didn't go crazy on it. They kept it simple. Look, it looked like the old F-150 trucks. So when you see it, you ain't got to be like, oh, what is that? Because a lot of time with these EVs and companies like that, they try to go for a whole brand new look. Ford kept it simple. F-150 Lightning looked like Ford F-150. It just got a little spot on there to do the charging in it. But other than that, the things that you'll really notice on it are from a driver's standpoint. You'll notice like a lot more plugs into it. You notice the space, and they got a little front trunk in there. So the things that they did was just more things that you can kind of rock with as a driver. But if you just driving around in it and the look of it, it looked like a Ford F-150, and people loved it. Ford F-150, when I looked into it a little bit, I knew Ford was like that truck when it came to it, but like it said Ford has been the #1 truck in America for 45 years. That's crazy. That's crazy. And even with that, with the Ford trucks, they still going through it through the pandemic and everything. And in America, trucks so crazy. Ford is the #1. The Ford trucks are the #1 vehicle, period. Car, SUV, whatever, in America. So for Ford to jump into the EV lane with it, I really expect that to do some things. The number's crazy. Like they think they closed the pre-orders for it, because with EVs, that's a huge thing. You pre-order trucks. Hey, and by the way, for people who, if you checking this out and you like, hey, look, bro, you ain't got to explain everything like that. Look, I'm hoping to get people who might kind of rock with tech a little bit, but they're like, I ain't really into tech like that. So, I might explain a couple of these little technology terms that somebody who ain't really into it might not know. So if you get that, cool. If you don't, hey, you learn something new. So, I'm just trying to, explain stuff a little bit. But yeah, so Ford got that going. They recently started actually shipping out those trucks, which is a huge thing, especially coming from a company like Ford. So that's a major thing that they got going right now. I think when they started the actual pushing out of trucks, they were at like 1,800 trucks that they had produced from when they actually shipping. Their goal is to make 150,000 trucks a year with the Lightning models. So that's pretty dope. The one thing that they did also say during it that was kind of intriguing to me, toward the end of it, they announced that they got another EV truck in the works. And I'd expect it to probably be like the Ford Ranger model. Like I'm a Ford driver myself. I don't drive Ford trucks because I'm not doing that kind of work to need a truck. But I done thought about getting one, but I don't think I need a truck. It'd be just extra. But yeah, so like it's probably gonna be like that Ford Ranger, but that's something to definitely check out and look for. The thing that Ford really did for me personally that I seen, I was like, damn, I want one of those. The retro thing that they're doing. So Ford is also selling the crate motors, which is for like any car enthusiast. You know what that is. It's like pretty much you can just buy the engine. If you want to like work on a car, do customized things, you can buy like a new engine and model like that, work out the stuff. So with the electric motor that they have running the Ford Mustang Mach-E's, they are selling those, and there's a way to kind of like boost up, let you know about it. Ford is like showing the people the Ford F-100. It's the 1978 model, and bruh, that thing's so cold. Like just in general, like old schools, I ain't a crazy old school driver, but if you got your old school set right, to me it's like, bruh, that's fire. That's fire. And what Ford got going on with that right there, fire. But the thing is, it's an electric. It's an EV engine inside of a 1978 Ford F-100. Tell me that don't even sound sexy. Like, you ain't even got to see it. You ain't even got to see it. You close your eyes, imagine. It sounds sexy. So, and it's just as sexy as it sounds. Like, I first seen the joint a little while back, but then I seen like some YouTubers and different people driving it. The joint taking off. It's a 1978 vehicle doing current EV speeds. in 2020, which means that truck is going 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. Trucks ain't supposed to do that. Trucks just ain't supposed to do that, period. And the fact that it's doing it with a 1978 model, crazy, bro. And then the thing, like, nice, decked out with the old school feel, you know, with the whole metal block body. It's just cold. You got to see it. If you ain't seen it, like, type that in. Ford 1978 F100 EV model. You're going to see some videos. Check it out. It's super dope. The looks of it is just crazy. So they got like the whole, you know, you got the old school look aesthetic. So you see it, you're like, oh, that's an old school. That's a bet. Look at that. They done restored that thing. But then when you peep it out, you look inside, you got the EV, you got the push start, you got your touchscreen areas. But they still it even got like the little rotary thing that Ford has for gear shifting. But they made sure to kind of keep it with the old school look. So you still got areas on it that kind of got that old school kind of feel in the inside and things like that. So you still like it's just like to me, it's like a amazing mesh. And when I showed it to like my girl, she was like, damn, that thing hard. She got mad that she couldn't buy the truck. Like she ain't no truck driver either, but it's like that type of thing. I want that. Ford, sell that truck. But it's like a one-off kind of thing, something that they just doing to kind of just get it out there. So if y'all, like I said, if you ain't, man, definitely check that out. That Ford F100 EV, crazy. Other EV news we got going on, Lexus they announced their first EV that they intend to sell. It's the Lexus RZ 450e. It's like an SUV that kind of falls in between the most popular just vehicles for Lexus in general, which are the NX 200, or just the NX models and the RX models, which are they two SUVs. So the RZ gonna fall like right in between which I feel I done seen on a whole lot of tech companies or a whole lot of companies that have already had full lineups. What they're trying to do is create a crossover, which is where they're putting a lot of the EVs at, because the crossover market is like the biggest market in cars. But like what they're doing is like making an EV that fall in between that range. And it's kind of like, it's not replacing either model, is like falling right in between something. So it's like, you know, you can kind of lean a little bit on it. So that's what they're doing with that one. I looked at the design, looked pretty cool. I mean, it looked like a Lexus. So it's doing what they supposed to do. The thing to me that kind of I got about it, it's based on the same, well, hold on. So if you don't know, Toyota own Lexus. So Lexus borrows stuff from Toyota. That's how companies work. So Toyota got the BZ, hold on, what is it? BZ4X or something like that. Let me make sure I get that name right, because I hate the name that they got for it. But it's the Toyota BZ4X, which is something that they made in collaboration with Subaru. Subaru has the Solterra that they're making, the Toyota BZ4X, basically the same vehicle that they made in collaboration, just two different companies. The only difference, the main difference, if you know Subaru, all of their vehicles are all-wheel drive. So the Subaru gonna have all-wheel drive. It costs a little bit more as the base model, but other than that, it's basically the same kind of vehicle. Just, you know, Toyota touches, Subaru touches. So I digress. Let me get back up about Lexus. So that's the base vehicle that they kind of like turning that into the Lexus luxury high-end model with it. The thing for me, it looked cool. One of the things I don't really get why they decided to do it, maybe it's because Tesla did it with the Model S Plaid. They put the yoke steering wheel in it, which if you don't know what a yoke steering wheel is, it's basically just imagine your regular steering wheel and just chop off the top of it for no damn reason, because that's basically what they're doing. It's a cool look and aesthetic to it, but on a luxury vehicle that's not really a sport kind of model, I don't really get why they decided to go with doing that. Maybe just to kind of give it the added little appeal or something, but it's like, bro, that's not as convenient for driving. It gives you the ability to see your whole steering wheel or dashboard or something. The only reason I can really see myself wanting a yoke steering wheel is if it was full autonomous. If I can just lay back, hey, bet y'all drive that right there. Yeah, hey, yo. Hey, what's up? Yeah, I ain't driving. Car driving itself. That's cool. But otherwise, look, man, when you driving, I don't know about y'all, but like when I'm swinging and banging, you hear me? I like to, kind of let that steering wheel swing. You like to get your hand around it. But when you got a hole with half the steering wheel been cut off, you can't just slide your hand around like that. So I ain't really vibing the yoke steering wheel. I ain't never drove a yoke steering wheel, but just in theory, just knowing how I drive, I wouldn't really see myself wanting a yoke steering wheel. But that's what they got going on with that. It's supposed to be coming out later. I think these models are supposed to come out this year. Excuse me if I'm wrong, but those are the expectations on it. So they supposed to be vehicles that drop this year. I personally also think that when it comes to like those kind of vehicles, those fucking names are stupid. Like one, the Toyota BZ4X, I'm remembering it now just because I'm into this stuff and I done seen it enough times. But if I'm going into a car dealership, that is something I gotta remember that. You gotta remember that name. That's hard to remember. It's easy to say Camry, but you going there, the BZ4X. That's a lot of letters, words, and it ain't even just, it's letter, number, another letter. Like, why you making it complicated? Just keep it simple. I know y'all be trying to like make these numbers and names, and I know in luxury models they be doing all that, but man, keep this shit simple. People ain't got time to have all that. I want to go in there and know what I'm talking about. Now, when I go in there, the BZ, the bee's knees, nah, right now I sound stupid, and they finna try to finesse me and get all my money. Keep the name simple. But y'all companies probably ain't gonna do that because Sony is like a company that's just, sorry Sony, y'all just gotta kiss some heat. The names that Sony be having on either they phones or they, just everything that they do be long and stupid for no reason. Like Sony has some of the best noise canceling headphones, but a lot of people don't know about it because the name is stupid fucking long. It got nothing but letters and numbers, and it's like, bro, can you give me something I can go in there and say I want that? I just gotta be like, I want them Sony headphones. You know the ones I'm talking about. That's the best you got with that. But Sony ain't even supposed to be catching heat right now. Look, let me move off of that. Other news we got going on. Snap has announced that they are, well, Snap, which is the company that owns Snapchat, which I'm a person who kind of navigated from like not being on Snapchat like how I was when it first was like super popular, you know, before Instagram stole their stories. I was a person who was on Snapchat, but like I didn't kind of fell back from it. But like I always read things that say Snapchat is doing really well, still growing. So hey, look, man, a lot of people on Snapchat snapping. And I know a bunch of friends who like be Snapchat, and I'm like, y'all be on Snapchat still? So it's definitely something going. So Snap is the parent company. What they have debuted, which is something like what Snap does. Like if you remember a while back, Snap debuted the Spectacles, which is like some little glasses that let you record video. They done a few iterations of it. Going on that same kind of lane of products that they make, they announced a drone called a Snap Pixy. It's pretty much like a entry level, like budget model kind of drone, which is, you know, like the flying camera or whatever. It don't have like the controls like how the higher end versions or whatever, like DJI that'll make. But what it does is, I think it starts at $229 for the $229.95 whatever for the base model, which is just like the drone, charger, battery, and it got a little crossover, little strap, you know, kind of look a little cool, a little sporty or whatever, little strap on it, little bumper around the drone. Cause this is a super lightweight looking drone. It's like the type of drone you can just flick around. It look like if you were just holding in your hand. It's probably about as heavy as maybe 2 or 3 phones or something like that. This is just me looking at it. But yeah, so that's what you get for the base model. They got a little flight pack that's a little bit more expensive that you can get. That one costs like, I think it's like $20 more, $249. But so with that, and you just get the same stuff plus a second battery charger that come with 2 batteries. The thing about it, the reason why they pretty much probably trying to push that flight pack is the drone itself is rated for about 5 to 8 flights on one battery charge or one battery. And it's pretty lightweight, so I don't know how long 5 to 8 flights is. Maybe they talking like it went up for a minute, came back. So they didn't really say how many minutes kind of thing. They just gave it you get 5 to 8 flights, which is super vague. But yeah, so you know that's why they pretty much got like trying to push you to get batteries, because you're gonna probably need some more batteries to really enjoy it. But pretty much demand for it was higher than they was expecting, so that thing on back order. So it's always dope when you like, oh, I'm gonna make this, and people gonna kind of rock with it, and then you like, nah, people really fucking with this. So they on back order, kind of same thing Ford got going on with them trucks. So with it, it's just kind of like a quick explanation on it. It's the type of, like I say, no controls for it. What it does is it's a drone. You just kind of let it out from your hand. It kind of like sees your face or whatever. It's not like the highest quality video, but to me, it falls within that same range of a product that if you're the type of person who walking outside with a ring light and recording your videos, you might be the type of person who want to get you a drone that you can cheaply fly and get you a good enough quality video, because the quality is going to be solid. It's for the type of person who posts in the social media, in my mind. If you trying to like do like, if you an event plan or something like that, like you shoot people photos and stuff, it ain't probably what you want. But if you like just trying to post to social media, get that camera angle that you couldn't get with your hand, a selfie stick if people still doing that or whatever, it's that kind of thing that can definitely get you that look on there. it focuses on one person, but from some of the videos I've seen, it looks like it can pretty much handle a few people being in the shot. As long as it's like still focusing in on that one person, it can get you that aerial view, look back, and, you know, kind of follow you through or whatever, because it's gonna follow you around. The way you get it to come back, you just gotta kind of hit it with the hey, look back, hey, come back here, and then it just fly into your hand, real obedient, like, you know. So that's kind of cool with that. It's not a product for me, but every product ain't meant for me, and everything I'm gonna talk about ain't gonna be stuff that I really be into, but it's just stuff that I think is cool, and I think y'all should definitely check it out. I know somebody gonna watch this video and like, damn, that look kind of cool. I think I want one of those. You should go check it out, man. That Snap Pixy is a cool little product. More products we got going on here. Dell announced, I think they announced it a little while back, but I think it's actually starting to ship out or whatever. The Dell XPS 13 Plus. I'm gonna start this off by saying, to me, it looked cool. I spoke with somebody else, like my girl. She was talking about it. She was like, she don't really like how it looks. She was like, it's all right. To me, it looked cool as shit. It's a modern, like, you know, everything you trying to like modernize things, make it look different than how it used to look a while back. It's a cool, modern looking laptop. But to me, also, I don't think I would want it. It looked cool, but I don't think I would want it. So like some of the things off the bat, you got like the keyboard itself. Like most of the stuff that's cool about it is in the keyboard area. The keyboard itself, like the actual buttons, instead of like, you know, stopping a little bit close to the edge, they go basically all the way to the edge. So it's like a kind of wide kind of space. It's just a cool looking keyboard. They all big buttons. It looked nice, but I feel like I could be tripping, but I feel like it's gonna be wider typing or something like that. It looked like it might be too wide for me. But I could, again, I haven't typed on it. I definitely intend on testing it to see how it is, but it looked like it might be a wider type. But that's not something I'm really too tripping about. The two things for me where they kind of lost me a bit, which are two things that look good, but in use case may not be as useful. They kind of went and snatched from Apple what they did when Apple had the touch bar, which they recently backstepped on. They got the F keys, the function keys. They pretty much made that role, instead of being actual buttons you can push, it's like a touch thing. It's like a capacitive button, so they vibrate or whatever when you touch it, but it's not an actual button. And it's just like a touch area. It only stays like that, so it's not like a full touch screen kind of thing that's changing like how Apple did. But it include a lot of buttons, like all the F keys, the escape button, which I push a lot. I need that escape key. The delete button, I use delete a lot. So those buttons up there and those kind of moving around and not being a solid button I can press, I don't think I really enjoy that. The other thing that make it look super cool, the bottom part of it is just one solid bottom part. You don't have like underneath the keyboard, it's just one solid slab of glass. So instead of having like your touchpad where you can visually see it real quick, hey, this is a touchpad area, it's just one solid area down there. Now the whole spot ain't a touchpad. Just like it looked like it's pretty big. The touchpad area looked pretty big, but you can't see it. You just gotta know where it's at. And I don't think I want to guess where the touchpad at, because I use right clicking and left clicking on my touchpad. If I don't know what side I'm at, I be messing up with my real touchpad on the laptop. I know I'm gonna mess up with it on something that's not even a full touchpad like it's supposed to be. But it looked cool, so you can slide your finger across and you can kind of see the pointer where it actually start turning to a touchpad because the mouse start moving. But it's just one solid glass piece. A thing with that is glass. So if you drop that, I would expect that to be possible to break. It's Gorilla Glass, so it's supposed to be like high quality stuff, but phones are Gorilla Glass and people got broken phones walking around here every day, B. So be careful out there. Like, so you want to get it. It's a dope looking laptop. XPS is one of Dell models that sells well, does a lot of things. It's one of the high end models, but still it's a laptop that has a lot of reaches. They still got the Dell XPS 13 regular model, so you want to just get that product without having the plus features, you can get that. But the plus has that kind of more modern look and kind of a little bit more reaching thing. So it's always dope the company's doing that, but I just wouldn't see myself actually enjoying the changes that they made. Look good, but I don't think they'd be useful in regular use case. More news, what we got going on. Video game Hall of Fame. I didn't even know that was a thing. I did not know there was a Hall of Fame for video games. Speaking on that, like, I'm not the craziest I'm not the craziest video game player like I used to be. Like back in the gap, you caught me like in college. Hey, bro, I'd have messed you up on Madden all day. I was Call of Duty crazy, like going with it. Even as a youngin', like as a kid, playing video games all the time. But like I done got old. I don't play games like I used to. If you do play your games, like I definitely don't fall in that range of like shade and nothing like that. Hey, look, do your thing, look, man. Enjoy whatever you enjoy. I don't play games like I used to, but I still enjoy video games every now and again. But with that, I didn't know they had a Hall of Fame for video games. So looked it up, found about that. They've recently had a few video games get indicted into the Hall of Fame. And it's just like the games themselves, like pretty much classic games that then kind of done amazing things that like changed the industry. The 4 games that got indicted this year are Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. I always mess that word up. I think when I used to play the game, I call it like Ocarina of Time, but I think it's Ocarina if I ain't mistaken. And if I'm messing that up, I'm sorry, y'all. Miss Pac-Man, Dance Dance Revolution, and Sid Meier's Civilization. Everything other than the Civilization game, I've played and enjoyed the shit out of. So obviously in my mind, all them games deserve to be in there. Miss Pac-Man is a classic. Like, bro, that's arcade crazy. I don't even know the Pac-Man game. The regular Pac-Man, Mr. Pac-Man, I don't even know that game. Miss Pac-Man is the video game everybody know. That's the one that every little arcade plays. Miss Pac-Man, that's the one you trying to play. So that's a classic right there. Dance Dance Revolution. My partner as a kid like had me on that, like doing the joint. You know, you like over here dancing, pop, 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 pop. You know, just trying to go crazy. I wasn't the best at that game. I played it, but I for sure wasn't the best at that game. Like, you know, you was real with it. If like you had, like, you know, if you go to the arcade, they had like the little metal box or whatever you jumping around on. But like I was playing with like my partner, we had the whole thing. We had the crib, had the little plastic or whatever kind of mat at the house. So you jumping around on the little mat playing this video game, trying to dance and do all this stuff, and he's sweating. That was like before Xbox tried to do the Connect and all the video games that had you being mobile or active or whatever. That was a video game that people was doing, the Dance Dance Revolution. So that definitely kind of like set a little tone. And the game that stick out to me the most is that Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. That's a classic. That's a super classic. That's a super duper classic. When it comes to like that range of games, super duper classic. Bruh. That game right there is the reason I played. Like, it was so dope. And that's like one of the first like big games that I beat. Like first like long, lengthy role-playing games that I beat. That got me to play the Majora's Mask, the Wind Waker, and I think Twilight Princess. Them like all Zelda games that I actually pretty much off the basis of enjoying that first one so much, you know, kind of got me into that range of it. Again, like I say, I don't play video games as much no more, so I can tell you about the new ones, like the Breath of the Wild, even though I heard this supposed to be like crazy. But I couldn't tell you too much about the new games. But them right there, like early 2090s, crazy. So them all games is super dope. And it's dope to like just see that they got a Hall of Fame for video games. So if you into that kind of thing, you know, check it out. I think they currently, those 4 games made the total list, 36 games that have been put into the Hall of Fame. It's only been since 2015 that they've had the Hall of Fame. So it's a newer thing. You know, video games are a newer situation. So, and especially like with it being as accepted, you know what I mean? Like, even though, you know, you got the e-games and stuff like that, you still got people in certain places who like, video games stupid. Bruh, everything's stupid to somebody. Enjoy what you enjoying. So with that, let's go ahead and get into the biggest thing going on to me. I'm in the industry going on currently. Should be going on a day after you hear this, a day after this come out. The Google I/O, which is pretty much their conference or whatever, where they developers conference, tell you about the products they're about to have coming out. I'm super excited to see what Google gonna do during the announcements. Cause you know, like the first day, that's the big day where you like kind of seeing all the cool shit, like all the stuff that everybody looking about. They're gonna tell you about what Android device is gonna be, what the software gonna be looking like next year or later on this year, and for the phones next year or whatever. I just pretty much, you know, kind of getting the future vibe for what you're finna be getting. I have heard so much, and I mean so much, news about the Google Pixel Watch finally being announced or something like that. Like right now, I got a Fossil watch on my wrist, and my girl gave it to me a few years back. And when she gave it to me, it was like a little bit after Google had announced that they were buying Fitbit. Now this wasn't when the deal closed, but they announced it. I was like, nah, man, I don't want that. Like Google gonna have a Fitbit watch out, and I'm gonna probably want that Pixel watch. Cause like, if you seen it right here, I got a Pixel phone. It's a Pixel 4 XL, not the newest joint, but you know, I rock with Google phones. But yeah, so when she gave it to me, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna want that. She was like, well, just try it out and keep it. 3 years later, Google still ain't announced no Pixel watch. I'm happy that I kept this watch because I'd have just been without a smartwatch at all. So yeah, like that's something that's supposed to be expected. That's like one of the biggest things that I've seen that people expecting to be announced during this is that Pixel watch coming out. I personally don't want to see it get announced and debut kind of thing. I would like to see Google just, if anything, speak about it, just letting us know, hey, look, it's gonna be coming, like with a light little announcement, and actually had a Pixel watch debut later on this year when the Pixel 7 come out. Cause I don't want to buy a watch right now and have like a phone that ain't the. I want to buy them, have them come out brand new, kind of like if you bought an Apple Watch and you bought an iPhone, you can buy the brand new versions almost back to back. Cause with the Pixel 6 that came out last year, I bought one, tried the Pixel Pro. I was like, it's a nice phone. The kind of thing I experienced, like everybody else, a big thing, the login with the biometrics with the screen login was slow. And I just had enough stuff. I was like, this ain't worth it. It's a nice phone, but this ain't enough of an upgrade. And I personally, honestly, I like the face login that you got with the Pixel 4 XL. So, I mean, Google let it go, but I like the face login. So, back to the Google I/O. So, with that, they expecting to at least make an announcement. That's what I'm hoping, that they make an announcement about the Pixel Watch, but don't drop it. I've recently read something else that the Fitbit is actually expecting to update their smartwatches. So, like the Fitbit Versa and the Fitbit Sense are expected to have some actual announcements related to those. I feel like this would be a good time to just announce things, kind of like get a little vibe. Probably, I would personally, just put the Pixel Watch and the Fitbit Sense Fitbit devices, have those come out at a separate time because you don't want to, compete with yourself. But, we gonna see what Google do. Google be making some dumb decisions in my mind. I rock with Google products. Like I say this as a person who rocks with Google products. Google be making some dumbass decisions when it comes to some of the things that they do with their software, hardware, just in general. Google be making some dumb decisions. It's a $1 trillion company, but y'all be making some dumb decisions at times. Other things, the Pixel 6a is expected to be announced. The original A series phone, which is like the lower tier kind of phone, kind of similar to like what iPhone do with the SE model phones. It's similar to that, probably like a little step up from that, but similar kind of thing. So people expecting to have the 6a get announced, which I feel like it'd be cool because if you don't want to have the 6a come out too close to the 7. What else they expecting to have go on with that? One, I like to see them announce some stuff with the Chromebooks. I'm not a Chromebook user, but I'd like to see a Chromebook get announced. Like I want to have like I said, I'm a Google product user, but I would like to see a Chromebook have enough power and apps that you can use to actually, if you're a professional, have something come out. I don't expect that to happen, but I'd love to see it because I would love to have a Google Chromebook, but I run professional apps and things like that just won't run on that kind of device. So it's unfortunate. What else we got going on? What else expected from Google I/O? It's just so much. Like as a Google fan, you expect so much, but I'm also a Google person who's aware Google devices be disappointing me sometimes. So recently, this speaking about the Google I/O thing, I would love to see Google announce the Google Pixel Buds, whatever new versions. I recently read a thing that said they was gonna have the Pro models. This is something I was gonna talk about anyway, was the Google Pixel headphones. I'd love to see them get some new ones because they got the A models. They discontinued the regular versions. I got some of the regular versions, like the original Pixel Buds wireless versions that they had, not the A series. And unfortunately at the gym, somehow I lost my case, and you can't just buy a case, so I can't charge my headphones, and I need new headphones. My girl was like, hey, so if Google drop some new headphones, you gonna buy them? And I was like, maybe, but she like, but then you just say Google products be kind of like, they good, and then they kind of not good for a long time, they don't last. And that's like the thing that Google get me with. Like, y'all, I know y'all new to the hardware game, so I hope y'all get it together. But Google be having like devices and products that come out, And it's like, it's cool, but then it's like, it don't last. It's not as good as it's supposed to be. Like when you trying to compare yourself to Apple or something like that, which is just an automatic comparison you gonna get, Google devices don't last like Apple devices last. Like you get an iPhone, that joint gonna run, period, poo. That joint gonna run. It's gonna be good. So that's why iPhone people go iPhone crazy. Like, hey, talk to like kids. Hey, tell your friend to get an iPhone because iPhone is the cooler phone to get. And I get that. Like, I've never used the iPhone. I've used other people's iPhone, but I've never owned an iPhone because I'm not a big iPhone fan. But with that, you got people who just like, oh, you should get an iPhone because they work and iPhones work. And Google's look cool, but them things do not work like how you want them to. Like you be like a month into your Google phone, like why is my phone feeling slow? What's going on here? So I hope y'all get it together, man. Google, just get that together, man. Make it work, baby. Come on. Other stuff. So pretty much what I'm saying. Sorry on that one. The Pixel Buds Pro, which is something that people expecting to have. I feel like this would be a good time for them to announce that. But personally, as a person who want to get a Google Pixel, I expect myself to upgrade to the Pixel 7 later on this year, as long as it's legit, everything seems straight. I love to get a Pixel Watch, Pixel Buds Pro, and a Pixel Watch and the Pixel phone. But at the same time, are they gonna actually all work and stay consistent? Because them headphones was tripping at times. My phone be tripping. It's like, you want to buy all that Google stuff, but it would be working. And I'm sorry for like anybody who watching this and like, I don't want any of that Google stuff. Hey, look, man, that's what I buy. But at the same time, even though I buy and I'm into the Google stuff heavy, I still check for everything else, everything tech related, because I'm into all of it. And I'm aware of the fact, even though I like the Google devices, they are not always the best devices. And I personally, if I was like recommending something to somebody, I would probably recommend against getting the devices that I choose to get myself. I'm an enthusiast with some of this, so that's the stuff that I might buy. But you on your everyday, just regular using your shit, it might not work for you. And I don't want you to have a device that don't work for you just because I like the shit. So that's something to definitely check for. I also got the Google TV, the Chromecast with Google TV. Man, I hate when companies got stupid names. I wish they could just like update the name, the Chromecast TV, or something just simple. But Google's, I would like to see them announce a new version of that device, because I got the original one, which is like $50, but it don't got a lot of room on it. So like I got the max amount of apps I can have. Like I got to delete an app if I want to download another one because it only got so much room in it. So I like to see that. I still enjoy it. I've seen other people talk about how their Google TV, whatever, the name just too stupid. But seeing people talk about how theirs doesn't work as well or slow down. Mine had it sometimes, but not too much, so I'm not mad at it. But I really just hope they do something to update it on the I've seen things that they expected to announce the Google HD version of that, which is like a step down from the 4K version. I personally would love to see them do a step up version, which is like a higher end, which is like, hey, look, man, diversify your portfolio, put some devices out there. Cause I would love to get the same device that run better. Cause that joint trash right now. Well, it trash at times. Mine ain't that bad, but I love to see it run as well as like when I use the Apple TV. We got Apple TV in our house as well. That joint smooth. I hate Apple remote choice, but that joint work. So Apple stuff just work, bruh. Google, get it together. Get the hardware team together. So yeah, that's something supposed to be coming out. With that, I seen a few news articles stating that on Amazon, they got it to where you can pre-order the device that's already out, the Chromecast. You can pre-order it, which is pretty much kind of seems like a glitch or something in the system, but it pretty much kind of leans toward the case of, oh, so you telling me I'm gonna pretty much in the future be able to pre-order some new device. So it got to be something new that's coming out with it. Hopefully it's the higher end version that I'm hoping for, but I've seen some things that people expecting to be the lower end version. With it, they also supposed to allow you to get more user profiles, which is something they should have came with off the gate, because if you use it, you can do like wish lists on there, but it can only be like one main profile. So if somebody else get to using your device and they live in your household, they gonna mess up your thing because it's only one profile on there. All right, so that's pretty much the things going on with Google I/O. They're going to announce things like Android 13, tell you how it's working, tell you the new things that's cool about it, whatever they finna make Material U Plus or whatever they're going to do with it. So that's those things is going to come up out of Google I/O. I look forward to watching. I'm going to watch the live streaming when it come. As I said, this video should come out a day right before Google I/O. And I hope y'all check it out too, man. I hope y'all really rock with it, see how it's going. Check out some of the news. And if you don't check it out, I'm going to tell you about it next week when we come with the next episode. For the most part, that's wrapping up the main tech part we're going to get into. I'm going to do a few quick hits with y'all. Just talk about some of the things that's going on. Not getting into too much detail, but just like, just interesting things in tech. Google, we're staying on the topic of Google. They got the Google Nest products, which if you know, is like the thermostat, cameras. I think the camera's the main one for sure. But the Google Nest products are supposed to start working with Amazon Alexa, which is a great thing because, look, everybody don't want to always buy the same product. You want to buy a few different things. It'd be nice if they work together. So that's a cool thing. Google, Apple, and not Amazon, and Microsoft, I think, made an announcement that they're supposed to be working on stuff to where you don't have to keep remembering your passwords or typing in passwords, kind of setting up things to where if you log into a device like your phone, pretty much it log you into whatever you're going to. So people stop having to remember passwords. Your phone is like a security thing that automatically get you into it. If you can get into your phone, you can get into most of your stuff. So that's a good thing going on. Apple recently announced their Q2 numbers, the second quarter numbers, which was pretty much, hey, we Apple, we still printing money, we making money, we balling on y'all like we been doing. You already know what it is. Like that's basically what they said. But in better explanation of that, Apple announced that they have $97.3 billion. You heard me right. $97.3 billion in revenue. I'm not sure that's for the year or for the quarter. It had $25 billion in profit. Them numbers don't even sound crazy. They don't sound real. I had $25 billion in profit? That's what you made? Crazy. But one of the highest growing markets that they had for it, the services, which is like the thing that Apple pushing for you. You know, if you're an Apple user, you probably got Apple Music, Apple TV, Apple Fitness Plus, News Plus, all those products. Those are doing well for Apple. They made it was $19.8 billion earned in that sector, with total across all of those different platforms, 825 million subscribers, which is, hey, y'all doing y'all thing. The iPhone sold a whole lot like they always do. But with the 13 pretty much being the 12 looking like the same kind of phone, the expectation wasn't for it to be selling as well, but it's after the 12 sold really good, 13 selling really good as well. Macs are selling great. Apple's announced a lot of the M1 chip lineup, which is like making their devices run better than everything else in the industry. So no surprise there that Apple's selling a lot of Mac products. I look forward as well to the WWDC in June when Apple had their conference, similar like when Google got the I.O. I look forward to seeing what's going on there. So that's what's going on with Apple. You got Paramount Plus, which to me, another one of those companies that fall into the range of y'all name sounds stupid. I'm sorry. Paramount don't sound cool. It just don't. I get it. It's an old company. It don't sound cool. You choosing this shit, it don't sound cool. Disney Plus sound cool because people love Disney. Ain't nobody like, hey, Paramount. Nobody care about no Paramount movie. What's the movie about? I couldn't even name you a Paramount movie right now. I don't know none. I know Disney. So Disney Plus sound cool. But that's just me with that. It's a lot of people who didn't subscribe to Paramount Plus. They announced they got 40 million subscribers, which is like, that's globally, but like I was like, I was not expecting it. Good job, Paramount. Do y'all thing. My bad. Go off. What else you got going? You got some apps removing the ability to make a purchase actually like from your device. So like if you got from your phone, Kindle, I seen announced that they recently pulled the ability to buy an ebook from their device. And it pretty much just goes to the case of them not wanting to give the percentage cut to Apple or Google or whatever company on they damn app, which I can't be mad at, but at the same time, companies do what y'all got to do. So if you got a Kindle, you can't make a purchase on the app. You got to go through a whole lot of rigmarole just to actually buy the book. And that's similar to what they did with Audible earlier this year. I'm an Audible subscriber, so I'm aware of it. But so I listen to a lot of audiobooks. So they did the same thing where you can't buy Audible. You can use your credits, but you can't buy an audiobook in it. Same thing they did with Kindle. You can use Kindle, but you can't buy a book from the app. Speaking on Audible, Barnes and Noble announced a competing service called Barnes and Noble Audiobook. Like, damn, y'all did not try for the name at all. Excuse me. But yeah, it's like, damn, y'all could have came with something. Like, you could have tried to do something on the name, but nope. Barnes & Noble audiobooks. So they announced that joint. It's pretty much the same thing as Audible, $15 a month. You get you sign up, you can get a trial free credit. Same kind of joint, but just with a lame ass name. So but even though I'm hating on the name, I think it's cool that they had that going, and you know, competition always great because Audible pretty much run the market. It's other ones out there, but having a company like Barnes & Noble being behind it in the book market is definitely a big thing. So that's what it is. That's all my tech shit this week. You know, like I say, we're gonna be talking tech on this bitch, but I also told y'all we're gonna be kicking culture. So I'm gonna kick a little culture things with y'all off the bat. Look, man, staying on the book news right now, a book that I just finished reading called Blood Trials. It's a part of a duology, so a second book gonna come out. I'm expecting probably like next year or something like that. But it was a debut author. It's a woman from, I think she's from Texas. Excuse me if I'm wrong, but the book is under N.E. Davenport. So it was a dope book. I was expecting it to be a young adult fiction, but it wound up being like new adult. So it was kind of like, yeah, oh, they cussing a lot. Oh, hold on, that sex scene a little bit sexier than I was expecting to be. So it's on that kind of range, but it was a dope ass book. The book for me, it like kind of, it definitely kind of like, I like how she did her way about going through the book. So like instead of like kind of hitting you with early on, pretty much fully setting you in the world, she just kind of went to a scene, went through the joints, and the world building just kept growing as the book went through. So like you really don't know too much about the world. You mostly know about the main character, Kenna. And then as you get toward the end of that joint, like when you get through it, she like kind of have a moment, they go somewhere, and she explained a whole lot about that. Then you don't know nothing about anything but whatever the character got going on. Then you go somewhere, bam. Then she explained more of the world. So the world just kind of grow. Even toward the end of the book, how like important characters come up and explain a whole nother side of the world and things like that. So it's a dope way how she went about doing the book. I listened to the, again, most times if I tell you about a book, it's the audio version of it. So that's mostly what I'm gonna be experiencing. Right now I'm a little busy, so I don't have the time to sit down and read like I want to. So I'm mostly listening to audio books when I'm moving around. And unfortunately, it's some books that I don't listen to just because the narrator be poo. Like, it's some books, I ain't gonna say what the books are, but it's some books that's on my reading list that I want to check out. But it's like, I don't like your voice. Y'all chose a bad narrator. The book premise seemed good, and the book seemed like I'd enjoy it, but I don't like the narrator. So it's a lot of books that I listen to based on just the book gotta sound good. It gotta be an interesting book, and the narrator gotta sound good. I don't like some people's voices. Some of y'all probably listening to this and like, I don't like your voice. Hey, look, it is what it is. I can't be mad at you if you don't like my voice. This is the one I got. But I don't like some of the people's voices on it. So that's just what it is. But like Bonnie Turpin, amazing. Like, oh my gosh, she ought to be reading books. Like, but she an award-winning narrator. So that's what she do. What else we got going? I told y'all I'm in the anime. Look, I know that this dropped and came out a while back, but again, dubs over subs. So Demon Slayer Season 2 Entertainment District, I'm just now about to start watching it. I know the dubs been out a little bit, but I wanted to wait till all of the dubs were out so that I could binge watch and just go straight through it. I hate watching TV where I gotta wait for stuff. Now I want to watch it. I ain't finna watch it all in one night, but whenever I'm watching something, I don't go back and forth between TV shows. I pretty much watch one TV show. I damn near probably watch it to complete. If it's a series or TV show that ended, I watch pretty much just that until I'm done with it and then go to something else. That's just the type of TV watcher I am. So my girl put me on that one. You know, I know my girl done came up a lot of times, but yeah, man, like she put me on Demon Slayer, and that was definitely hard. So we probably gonna be watching that soon, checking that out. So that's what's going on with anime, and you know I'm gonna have some new anime stuff to talk about with y'all next week. We might start watching it, so I might tell y'all how I'm feeling about some of the episodes. If you done already watched it, who cares? I'm gonna still talk about it. You can get my opinion about it. You might can argue in the comments or whatever. To wrap this little joint up, I got a little carryover from the old version of this podcast. Like I told y'all, man, we had a joint running beforehand. One of the things I had on there was jams and joints. On that, we talked about music. On this one, I'm just gonna give y'all like a jam, just whatever I'm vibing with, whether it's old school, new school, just whatever it is. My song for this first joint right here It would be the song that I had at the intro, but I already told y'all about that. Y'all gonna check out that, the code. But the song that I'm finna hit y'all with this one right here is gonna be Swang by Ray Shrimmer. I don't know what it was, man. I was just like vibing. I think me and my family was out doing something. We were just having like a little cool little day, kickback little day. And then like we was going somewhere and I was just riding, me dolo, just by myself or whatever. And I was like, that song just came to my head. And like, what? I was like, put that bitch in and got the rolling. So yeah, man. If y'all remember that joint right there, I don't know how old it was. I think it was like from like the first or second album that they did, but that was one of the ones that was rolling right there. So man, look, y'all want to tap that in, Ray Shrimmer, swang, play that thing, swang and bang to that joint. You hear me? You already know what it is, man. On that news right there, that's the episode, baby. So look, man, I'm about to dip out with y'all, man. Like I said, y'all definitely check into all that stuff. If y'all enjoyed this podcast, which I hope, if you listening to this part, you had to enjoy this podcast, or you really fucking with me or something. Because look, you just got a whole lot of me. That's all you got was a whole lot of me and a whole lot of tech shit, a whole lot of bullshit, man. But I hope y'all enjoyed it though. You hear me? If y'all got any comments, definitely if you're watching the YouTube version of it, I appreciate it. Please subscribe to the YouTube. Drop a comment. Let me know how you feeling about it. Let me know what you liking about it. Let me know what you ain't liking about it. Definitely hit it with a thumbs up on that joint. Hit the little bell or whatever so you know you get the subscriptions or followers or whatever. If you listening to just the audio version, man, please, I would love and appreciate if you hit me with that 5-star on the reviews, whatever you listening to, whether it's Apple, whatever. Please hit that rating, hit me with the 5 stars. You can hit the comment, let other people know what you was fucking with about it. Please appreciate that kind of joint. And if you fucking with me, man, definitely follow the podcast. You can follow the podcast at SttC Pod. That's on most social media apps, if I'm not mistaken. And if you can follow me, AO, that's AO Forever on everything, just AEO Forever, FOREVER, AEO FOREVER. Yeah, so man, it's AO Forever, and the podcast SttC Pod on everything else. I'm mostly heavy on Instagram and TikTok, so if you like rocking with me, definitely tap in with me on there. And I mean, that felt like an episode, so all I really can say right now is, look, man, this is SttC podcast. Whatever your code is, man, stick to it. I'll holler at you next week, man. SttC podcast. Be easy, we out.